Does your clothes washer sound like this? Is your washer doing this? If your washer is not agitating and it has this type of sound, the problem is the inner cogs in this clutch assembly that rotate the agitator are not working properly. They're actually worn down. This agitator comes in two pieces. You have a lower part down here in the tub. You have this center section here with this little corkscrew. And what this does is this rotates the clothes. Then the bottom part of the agitator has an action like this, and that's actually what cleans your clothes. Now it's starting to spin a little bit here, and it'll catch every once in a while. This is a really quick fix. You can fix this for about $20. So let's tear into it, and I'll show you how we're going to fix it. Okay, so now what we have to do is replace the actuator dogs, or the cam dogs in here. I call them little cogs, but they're actually referred to as agitator dogs in the maintenance manual here. There is the part number 3366877 dog actuator, and that is this whole assembly right in here. This is what we've ordered. I'm not sure if we're going to need to use all the parts, but we'll see. What we're going to do is we're going to open it up and we'll inspect it. Now, I've already done this before, obviously, before I made this video, so I ordered the right parts. What we have here is this lower piece here goes back and forth, and it has a ratcheting action for this upper part of the agitator. This upper part of the agitator is what turns the clothes around and brings the stuff from the bottom to the top, and then drives everything from the top down to the bottom, part of the whole wash cycle there. So as you can see, these little dogs right here don't want to engage. They're kind of rounded off, if you can see that. Last time I put my camera in there, it went upside down, so I'm not going to do that again. But anyway, we have these little teeth right here. And let's see here if there's something we can get a little bit darker background. There we go. See those teeth on there? There's 3 little teeth right there. Come on, camera. As you can see, on this one, they're worn off. And you need to have the teeth on there to catch on to this gear. So, that being said, let's tear this sucker apart and replace those worn out parts. Okay, first thing I'm going to do after I pop off the cap is I'm going to get a 7/16 wrench, and I'm going to need to hold that for a second. Hold on. So what I did is I grabbed on to the lower agitator with my hand to hold this so I can break that bolt free. Size socket, but I was just using this breaker bar here. All right. It's been a long time since I've torn this apart, so let's see what happens. Okay, so all that comes off. There we go. So this is what the agitator out of the machine looks like. I'm gonna do a little cleanup here. Still looks pretty good though. This machine's 17 years old. So now what I've got to do is get this out. Okay. Okay, I'm going to bring this over to a work surface, but to show you how to do this. Okay, this is what it looks like inside. I know it's a little dark in there, but we had that other good view. So what we need to do is we need to separate this piece. In order to get this clutch mechanism out of here, I need to actually pull it out. And in order to do that, it's actually pretty simple. So what we're going to do, we're going to set this down on a flat surface like so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the base here with my hand, This may or may not fight you, kind of depends. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pull this section straight up. So we're going to hold the bottom down. And we're going to pull that up out of there. Okay, now remember, we've got this piece that was in here, so we've got to not forget to put that back in. Just remember how it goes. And then we've got this piece here. We'll set this aside. That looks pretty good, by the way. The gear in there, they feel pretty good still. So we're going to have lots of bite there, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And these are the defective dogs. They're all worn down. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this piece and then reinstall it. Okay, so here's the old piece here. Here's the new one. We're going to use the old piece to kind of reference how we put the new one together. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these new dogs here and we're going to set them in this little insert area here, making sure to get them the right way. Can we get them in the wrong way? No, they will only go in one way. Okay, so that's fairly foolproof. And this rolled in here just inserts in this little slot. Okay. Then we're going to take this locking collar, push down. I believe it only has one way to go in, so let's see, let's rotate it here until it wants to go in. And what this does, this little collar here holds these dogs from slipping out. That's kind of a neat setup. We got it? There we go. It snaps into place. And they move very freely. So they're loose and they're meant to do this because now they'll have free travel here. All right, well, let's reassemble that. We'll take the old one, get it out of there. Okay, now we're on the downhill slide. Awesome. Okay, so remember I said don't lose that. So that only goes in one way. So you want that in there. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to insert this piece in here. Or you could wait. Actually, we can do this two ways. We could insert it in there and then put the whole thing together. But I'm going to go like this. We're going to get that down in there, like so. Try to get the camera over here. Then we're going to insert this in here. Now, we've got these little pieces right here, these little nubbies right here, so we want to get those in the proper location. And they'll just drop down in there. We'll just twist her till she drops down in. There's only one way for it to go in, I believe. And that's not it. Let me move these cogs. It's kind of interesting doing this with one hand, so let's see. Okay, I see. There's a little tab down in here. Let's see if we can get this. There's this little tab right here. One here, and then one right there. What we want to do is we want to get these, see these little clips like right here? Okay, we want to get those lined up with that. So let's put that in. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to do that off camera. But like I told you, to get those pins lined up in there. But I needed to back the camera away so I could actually get some good even downward pressure, and you just put it down in there and it'll snap in. It can only go one way. It has a couple little guide tabs on both sides over here, and it'll only go in one way, and then it'll go down in and click. So see, now that's going to grab each time. You know how that works? Very cool. All right, so let's go and install it in the washer and then give it a test run. Okay, so I've got my agitator assembly all put together. I am going to come back and clean all this up, but for making this video, I just want to get this job done. I got quite a few people waiting to do laundry, so we'll get back to that. What we're going to do is we're going to set that all back down in there, slide it back down on the shaft. Okay. We're going to reuse our bolt assembly here, and this has a rubber washer on it, if you can see that. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it works. And this rubber washer keeps water from heading back down into the agitator assembly, leaking out on the floor. If you have a leak, maybe you'd want to check that. Okay, so what we're going to do is tighten that up. You do not need to get crazy tight with it. I'm just going to use my nut driver, hand tighten it, and then just give it a quick snug up right there. No big deal. Okay. Now, see how that catches now? Look at that. No noise, no slipping, just beautiful. Everything's good. We're going to take our cap with the seal, put that back on it. That seal looks pretty good. Okay. We're going to pop that on there. Okay. It is complete, but let's give it a test run anyway, just to show you. Okay, we have a functioning agitator again. This is how it's supposed to work. The bottom section is working, and the top corkscrew here is doing its job, working the clothes back down to the bottom. Anyway, there you go. All right, guys. Well, that was an easy fix for 20 bucks. And it took, oh, even with filming, it still only took me about a half hour to do it. So there you go. Should be easy to fix for you. Please don't forget to subscribe, and questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll put a link on how or where to get a hold of this replacement kit. All right, guys, thanks for watching.